Rocket League had the formula figured out. For a while, they catered to everyone: the casual players, the more competitive players like me, and even the pro players as well. They had multiple game modes, adding new ones every now and then, and at one point even had a miniature game inside of a game with trading. So then why would I be making a video about why Rocket League is never going to recover? Stay to the end to figure out exactly why this is. Games have their natural life cycle, and most games can be put into one of three categories. For example, every year a Call of Duty comes out, and every year new people buy it. But every year people complain that it's just the same game over and over. So then going back to the second point, is there a reason why so many people buy it? Well, the Call of Duty cycle is a bit of a unique case, where 3 different companies make a new game on a 3-year cycle. This ensures that a new COD game comes out every year, but each game has a different feel and atmosphere than the previous year. This new feel keeps the game feeling fresh every time a consumer buys it. This is category number 1, that I'm going to refer to as the new title games. To some extent, the same can be said about sports games as well. Each year, a new game is created, but this time it is much closer to a direct copy of the previous year. The main draw for this type of advancement lies in 2 different areas: the roster updates and the online community. Now, of course, there are graphical advances and new gameplay features, but a lot of the time they just aren't too major. Now, I specifically mentioned the online community because once a new game is released, let's say NBA 2K24, then all the people that played on the NBA 2K23 servers will just switch to the new game and leave the old game a barren wasteland. But with the roster, in theory, they could just keep the same title of the game and update it every year. But where's the money in that? On the other hand, there are games that don't come out every year. Most of the time just being a single game with no sequel and only updates to keep it alive. This is going to be my second category, where the majority of games fit in. Think of really any game you have on your computer that isn't considered a mainstream game. Trackmania and Geometry Dash are 2 good examples of this. They do their job, update their game, and make it an enjoyable experience for as many people as they can. However, to a lot of people, the game can only be so interesting for so long. People hop on and off these types of games and keep them either downloaded or in their library just in case they want to revisit them in the future, but they don't spend a ton of time in these games. Then we move on to the gems, the games that never seem to die, games that will go down as the greatest in history. In this category, we have games like Minecraft, Fortnite, CSGO, and many others. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to focus mainly on Fortnite because, quite frankly, I know more about it than other games in this category. Fortnite and Rocket League share the same parent company. However, this wasn't always the case with Rocket League, but we'll touch on that in a minute. Epic Games had a strategy when creating Fortnite, and that was to make it free to play and earn that revenue through in-game cosmetic purchases. This was revolutionary at the time, and many games soon switched to this business model. Fortnite was also extremely creative when it came to adding new chapters and seasons to keep people playing their game. We can relate these chapters to a new game that 2K or COD puts out every year. Fortnite's 2 main components of success relied on innovation and nostalgia. Innovation to keep the game feeling fresh, and nostalgia to bring the people back after they leave. This is the recipe that all games want to follow, but that Fortnite perfected. But why am I telling you this? Shouldn't this be a Rocket League video? Well, Rocket League doesn't have the same nostalgia luxury that Fortnite did. When it was released in 2015, it did really well, but just didn't have that same effect that Fortnite did on the overall population. It was released by a smaller company called Psyonix, and it was originally $20. Similar to Fortnite, it came with cosmetics, and similar to CSGO, you could get those cosmetics out of crates. They also took another page out of CSGO's book when they included trading in the game, so you could always look forward to the items that you wanted. The gameplay mechanics were simple. You just use your car to hit the ball in the net more than your opponent does. Although the game sounds super simple on paper, actually executing in-game was a lot more complicated, which is kind of the first problem. You see, it wasn't exactly welcoming to new players. Unless you and your buddies started playing around the same time, one would always be better than the other, and the worst of the two would just have less fun. In the end, this deters people from inviting their friends to play. Fortnite has a sprinkle of luck in their game, to where really anybody is able to eliminate anyone else with the right amount of luck. But the same cannot be said for Rocket League. If you put 2 Grand Champs against 2 Plat players, the Grand Champs will win 100% of the time because it truly is a skill-based game. This means that although it caters to the competitive players, it doesn't really cater to the casual players as much. Also, the one mechanic that casual players could enjoy, and technically that involves luck the most, was removed when Epic Games bought out Psyonix. Epic Games tried to do with Rocket League exactly what they did with Fortnite, which was to make it free and make all their money off Battle Pass and in-game cosmetics. But this method worked infinitely better with Fortnite because there were those casual players. People in the competitive scene don't really care what their car or skin looks like in game, they just want the most optimal hitboxes. Much like Fortnite, Rocket League also has seasons, but the new seasons don't do anything. They add new maps, but they all play like the same map. They add a new Rocket Pass, but a lot of people, like I said earlier, don't bother getting it because they don't care what the car they use looks like. And it's not like they can just go back to OG Rocket League to bring back this massive player base because it never had that same attraction to players as Fortnite did. Unless they add some sort of big mechanic change or a way that changes how the game is played entirely, it will continue to dig its grave and never come out. Now, unfortunately, I do believe this will be the last Rocket League video on my channel. It may not, but at least it will be for a while. I haven't found myself picking up the game at all, and I just don't want to bother making content on the stuff I don't enjoy anymore. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.